up. Many people wake up early in the morning, they work tirelessly and repeat the same thing in and out. You wake up around the morning, you report to work, you come back home and you get tired. On Saturday, same thing. Some even work on Sunday inclusive. At the end of the day, their finances are actually trapped. They only live from paycheck to paycheck, being broke to being broke. Some of these people that earn salaries, for example, over a decade, never build wealth. Only few build wealth with the right knowledge. Others rise from humble beginnings, eventually achieve financial stability and success.
Welcome to the Julius Aroba podcast, a platform for conversations on leadership, innovation, artificial intelligence, and global development.
Hey friends, welcome to today's masterclass and episode again. And I remain your host, and my name is Dr. Julius Aroba, your wealth, financial, entrepreneurship, mind surgeon. In case you are new in our community, I want you to do me a favor. Just please try to subscribe now, share, and also send this out to your community and your network, because this will help your community to know that you have a very good intelligent ear for listening to intelligent conversation, and also will assist you to also be of great value to your community. Also, you know what you're going to do for me? Lastly, just go to Spotify, Amazon Music, or TikTok, or YouTube. Just type Dr. Julius Aroba, or you type Aroseglinks, AROSEGLINKS, and subscribe to all of the channels: LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Amazon Music, anywhere. Just type Dr. Julius Aroba and subscribe and leave positive comments. And I want to welcome you today to this masterclass. Today, I want to discuss with you about breaking free from financial struggles, which means it's how to understand the barriers to wealth creation and the road to financial freedom. If we're looking at some of these, there's a lot of discussion around the globe at the moment, talking about going from zero to hero. And some, we also talk about finances from moving from nothing to a certain amount of money. But there are a lot of things that actually make this particular topic in terms of from understanding the barrier to wealth creation and the road to financial freedom, which means from struggle to a structure, technically. For every student, for every family, for every entrepreneur, for every nation, the struggle for financial freedom is a very, very important topic. If you are on this journey in creating wealth, many people wake up early in the morning, and what they do, they work tirelessly, and they repeat the same thing in and out. If you work, you wake up around the morning, you report to work, you come back home, and you get tired. On Saturday, same thing. Some even work on Sunday inclusive. At the end of the day, their finances are actually trapped. They only live from to paycheck, from finance, to being broke. But here are we. Some of these people that earn salaries, for example, over a decade, never build wealth. Only few build wealth with the right knowledge. Others rise from humble beginnings, eventually achieve financial stability and success. And these are some of the reasons why we must ask some questions. And some of these questions are, why do many people struggle financially? And why do some remain poor despite their working hard most times? And also, what does it really take when we talk about becoming financially free? And also, how long does it take for you to go from struggle to structure to be financially free? Financial freedom is not just an accident. It is one of those things that you've got to be conscious about, because it is the result of discipline and having the right knowledge, and also being patient and having a wise decision and being consistent over time. As the saying goes, when people say wealth is not built by only one income alone, but it is built by habits. Have you ever thought about that? That money that comes into you, if you have the right discipline, if you have the right knowledge, if you have the right mentorship, you have the right coach, you wouldn't actually be at this stage where you are today. Now, what does the word financial freedom mean? Financial freedom means so many things to so many people, but I will make it simplify. Which means financial freedom means Reaching a point where money no longer controls your life. It means that you no longer let money control what you do from day to day. It means you are now in charge. You take over. You've now become the gods over money. Not that money is controlling you. Not that you've got to report to a particular place at a particular time. But it shows that you've now become a master over money. You are not a servant to money. Now, it also means you have enough savings. It means you have investments. When I mean in various investments, it means that you have assets in your name or in your company name or in your family name. And it means that you have multiple streams of income. And also, being financially free from constant financial fear. There are some persons you can't mention millions. Beside them, there is this phobia of them getting fear. They'll be like, no, you don't mention that kind of money. It's too big. It's too bogus. But again, financial freedom does not necessarily mean becoming the richest person in this world. It means that you gain control over your finance and you are able to forecast your future. And you work with daily discipline, with the right knowledge and the right habits to be able to conquer that. And there are some of these major hindrances to financial freedom. One of them is lack of financial education. When we were talking about some of these things in some of our masterclasses, in case you've not subscribed, why not drop your subscription? Subscribe now. Click on subscribe button. Maybe you're listening to this on Spotify. Subscribe now. Follow. Maybe you're actually on Amazon Music or you are on YouTube channel. Please make sure you click on subscribe button so that you can get notifications. And you can also help the algorithms to know. And also share these videos. Leave positive comment. Don't just listen to it. Don't just only watch. Do you know that if this was actually meant for you to pay for it, do you know that you will take notes and you also take caution in making sure these things are actually in place so that you'll be able to have that discipline to be able to know. But when people don't pay for things, they don't pay attention. But if you do me that favor, I'll be happy. And now, many schools teaches people mathematics, they teach you sciences, they teach you geography, religious studies, language, is it Zulu, Hausa, or Afrikaans, or Germans. But at the end of the day, you find out that many of them do not actually teach you to know how you can make money work for you in school. Even somebody who actually study accountancy, they don't teach them how money can work for them. They don't teach them on how to be able to invest. They can only teach you a little bit about how to save, even how to budget. Yes, they can teach you about how to budget, but not with the discipline. They will never teach you on how to manage debts. They will only teach you on how to get more debts, and there are positive debts and there are negative debts. And because of this, many people earn money, but they cannot manage this money. And this has led to a lot of problems in this day and age that we are talking about. And a lot of people in this time and age is that they do not actually pay much attention. So I want to bring you closer so that you can actually come closer. Let's talk more so that you can be able to understand what I'm talking about. It means that if you do not understand what money is, you will always work for it instead of making it work for you. And biblical principle says, my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. Now, because they don't know the science, they don't know the right knowledge behind it. And that is in Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. And when you look at that, you don't have the right knowledge to be able to manage, to make, and to multiply the money you have. How are you going to be able to go around that money you have? And how long is that going to take you? Knowledge is very powerful, but it is not that powerful when you don't put it into action. Financial ignorance is expensive. Are you not even tired to become a billboard for poverty? You wear all this, you try to make sure you put things, but it's not adding up. So imagine when we look at some of these things, a case study for number one, maybe you are a salary earner. You are always trapped. If the money comes, it always goes the way it is. There is a man named James who worked for 18 years. He worked every week in, week out, years to years, but he worked for 18 years and he had a very good salary. But every month he bought expensive clothes, gadgets, cars to impress people, and he never invested. At the end of the day, what James do? James never saved seriously because he's only living to be able to impress people. And when his company downsized, he lost his job and the financial struggle began. And another colleague of his, Mabel actually earned less than James. But what does Mabel do? Mabel was actually saving consistently. She's learning investment skills. She started a side hustle while in that same salary job of 18 years. But then within the years, what did Mabel do? Mabel actually became financially stable. Again, we've talked about 7 pillars of wealth creation. We've talked about 5 stages of being financially free. You go to some of these master classes that we've taught before, just go scroll through some of the videos and make sure you listen and look at those stages. At the end of the day, Mabel became more stable and she now has she now invested into side hustles. And when she was laid up that business of that salary job, she was able to fall back to her businesses. Remember, she has actually started building businesses along the line and she saved and she's now financially stable. But one thing is, income alone does not create wealth. Financial wisdom is very important. When you have financial wisdom, which is financial knowledge, you'll be able to know, be able to make, how to manage, and how to multiply that money. Number 2 habit is for you spending your poor spending habits. Remember, the point number 1 we discussed about is lack of financial education. And number 2 is about poor spending habits. Many people spend beyond their means. Before the money comes, the money is gone. When you come back again, you find out that there's nothing that is left. Some people buy things they do not even need to impress people who do not even care about them. Some of this actually creates debts. It also creates financial stress on them when you look at them and lack of savings. And also, the wise saying says, small leaks sink great ship. Do you know that if you are in a ship, when you are in it, if water comes into it, it's going to sink the ship. And that is why poor financial planning is one of those things. You spend on this, you spend on that without actually looking at how you can be able to go about it. Little unnecessary expenses repeatedly daily can destroy financial progress in anything you do. Even my Holy Bible says the wise store up choices of food and olive oil, but fools always gulp theirs down. When you are wise, which is the biblical reference for that, is the book of Proverbs chapter 21, verse 20. I don't know you listening to this. I want you to know that you've got to be able to know because there are important teachings about savings and wise management of whatever you have. Number 3 is wrong mindset and fear. So many people fear because of failure, because of lack of rejections, because of starting a business. They don't want to start all out. And again, because of taking opportunities, they don't want to try new things. At the end of the day, some of them, they believe that poor people and people from poor backgrounds cannot succeed. That is a poor myth. And wealth is only luck for lucky people, which is a very wrong myth. Wealth can actually be from anywhere. And also, poor people, even when you come from a poor home, it doesn't mean you should end poor. It means that you can actually create wealth to come from you. You must create riches and wealth to come from you. You don't want to end up poor. And again, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. It's what my Bible says in the book of Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. Your thinking influences your action, and your actions influences in your results. Another case study number 2 that I want to talk about is about small business owner. And this person was actually named Sarah. And Sarah sold food by the roadside. When you walk by your streets, let's take that woman who is selling all these small food stuffs on that roadside. And she, instead of spending all her profit, you know what she does? Sarah actually, she reinvested that money into the business. She plunged it into it, compounding it, and she started learning how to do bookkeeping, and she expanded slowly, and people mocked her over small beginnings because they only saw her on the road. Do you know that 5 years after that time, Sarah was actually able to rent an apartment and a restaurant. And that restaurant has a small office and apartment as well, where she was able to now start selling and put processes and structure in place. Do you know what happened to Sarah? She owned a restaurant. She now employed workers. She built financial stability. The lesson here I wanted to take out from here is that Sarah, even despite the fact that she starts with the little she has, she didn't start big, but she was consistent. She was disciplined. She was also conscious of her environment. She also delayed gratification. She was not showing off. She was able to build her businesses. It takes whatever you have in your hand. I don't know what God has deposited in you. You've got to just be able to map out something, start from what you have. If you remember, there was a widow in the Bible, and that widow went to one of the prophets and he said, "This is the only last thing we have, and we may eat for my son to die." And the prophet said, "You know what? Go out and borrow buckets, bills." Do you know that at the end of the day, the prophet said, "What do you have in your house that is remaining?" She said, "I only have one small vessel of oil." And the prophet now prayed over that, and that oil, she became a oil producer at the end of the day. She was able to supply, she had excesses, and she became somebody who was able to be a blessing to the community. Now, the same story of that woman called Sarah, who actually started from nowhere to become something in the future. And that is how life is all about. So, small, consistent progress become great success over time. You have to be able to make sure, do not despise the small beginning in anything you do in life. Number 4 is that lack of discipline and patience. A lot of people are not disciplined. A lot of people are not patient enough. This day and age, everybody just wants to blow. You want to be able to just be the talk of town, but that is not how you make money. Many people want overnight success in this day and age, which is very wrong. And you will see some of them, they chase quick money, they chase gambling, they look at fraudulent schemes and unsustainable lifestyle. But true wealth usually grows slowly. Do you know that when you plant any seed today, it's not only in 7 days' time you're going to reap. It might take 6 months. It might take 1 year. Some even take 5 years if you're planting palm kernels. At the end of the day, it shows that you got to water it. It shows that you've got to trim the weed around it. It shows that you've got to be disciplined around it so that this can actually produce. Apply the right manure and you look after those seeds. And this is how wealth is actually being built. It's not built just on overnight. And when you lack some of these things, you will find out that even a wise saying also says the stock market is a device for transfer money from impatient to patience. And that was actually quoted by Warren Buffett. Patience is a major key in financial growth. Biblical principles also apply that dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers those money little by little will make it grow. And that you can find in the book of Proverbs chapter 13 verse 11. Number 5 is depending on one source of income. One salary alone may not guarantee financial freedom today. Wealthy people often create wealth. They create side businesses, they invest, they look at digital assets, they invest in physical assets. And again, never depending on one source of income. Make investment to create a second source for yourself. Because when you do this, you are going to be able to get out of depending on one source of income. Number 6, bad debt and poor financial decision. Debt becomes dangerous when you use it carelessly. There are good debts, there are bad debts. I want you to also go to the masterclasses that we've talked about a few weeks ago. Good debt versus bad debt. You'll learn a lot of things there. Debt becomes more dangerously when you use it carelessly. And again, some people borrow money for luxury, for entertainment, for necessary consumptions. But debt can silently destroy your future opportunities. And again, remember, the borrower is a servant to the lender. You don't want to end up becoming a servant in those areas. So now, let's now talk about how long does it take you to become financially free. For some people, it might be 10 years. Some people it might be 5 years. Some people it might be 20 years. It depends on how. It depends on your habits. It depends on your principle. It depends on your opportunity. It depends on your skills. It depends on your investment. It depends on your surroundings, the economic surroundings around you, conditions. The important thing is that consistency is very important. Little by little, a little become a lot, and a lot become many and surplus. And again, what are the steps for you to be able to work towards financial freedom? Number 1, gain financial knowledge. Because whatever does not have knowledge behind it, it can never be sustained. You've got to have the right education, which is wealth education. Perhaps you need some books on wealth education. I will refer you to www.juliusaroba.com/shop.html. There are 2 books that we've written. One of them is Wealth Code and the other one is Wealth Beyond a Lifetime. You can get some of this knowledge from it. And also listen to all the podcasts, all the masterclasses of RSEG links of Julius Aroba on every various platform. Or you can even follow us for more on Instagram at RSEG Links, on X at RSEG Links, and different platforms. You'll be able to learn so that this notification can actually notify you. Subscribe. Do not be selfish in not sharing some of this. So you've got to gain the right knowledge by budgeting, by saving, by investing, by building business skills, and also using AI technological skills that can help to sporadically increase your businesses over time, because knowledge creates and it increases opportunities in anything you do. Number two, to how you can build financial freedom is to create a financial plan. Remember, he who does not have an architectural plan for their finances, they can never grow far in life. And again, you've got to be able to have a monthly target savings. You've got to be able to invest, to have an investment goals. You've got to have what I call debt reduction plans, because a person without a plan will easily waste money. Number 3 steps is to save consistently. Remember, if you don't have anything to save, there is no how you're going to go far in life. Security, because savings create security for you. And savings also help you to build emergency protection. God forbid anything happen, but you have emergency immunity from those savings that you've saved. And also investment opportunity. If you are able to invest, saving your money in various investments, it will help you to be able to increase your business, to increase your saving over time. And again, when we look at some of these things, it's very important that you put some of these things into plug and play now while you have those time. Or maybe you want to be able to also look at, because a person without a plan will easily waste money. And again, every small amount of money matters when it is done consistently. Number 4 is avoid bad debt. Borrow carefully. Do not just borrow. Not every loan is wise. Differentiate between productive debts, consumer debts, investment debts, destructive debts. Number 5 is increase your value. How do you increase your value? By learning more skills. High income skills, maybe programming, maybe AI tools, maybe digital marketing, maybe sales, maybe business development, because the marketplace only rewards those who bring value to the table. And again, the more problem you solve, the more value you become. Number 6, invest wisely. Money should grow for you. Gone are the days when people say money doesn't grow on tree. These days, money grows from agriculture. It is money grows on tree. It depends on what you are actually investing your money into. Possible investment you can actually invest into, which there are stocks, there are money markets, agriculture, technology, businesses, real estate, Airbnbs, land banking, and so on and so forth. Investment help to create a passive income. Let's take case study number 3, which is long-term investor. A young teacher named David started investing a small amount of money at age 25. David started working at age 25 and he started investing. And his friend laughed at him because the amount looked very small. The kind of money he was saving was very small. All his friends always laugh at him. But do you know what he did? He remained consistently for 15 years by saving that small amount of money into an investment. And that investment, when he was at the age of 40, saving for about 15 years, do you know he had substantial investments and he was able to own properties and he has passive income? His friends who mocked him then, they are now struggling after that 15 years of earning salaries. The lesson here is that David was consistent and he was patient. He bought a lot of properties, B&Bs. He was renovating properties. He was putting them to let. He was actually buying some lands in some undeveloped areas. He did this thing for 15 years. Do you know that whatever you do for about 5 to 10 years to 15 years, you will never remain poor? Have you ever put a plan before? Maybe you don't know how to go about your finance. You don't know how to start. I will advise you, I will implore you to look for at RSEG Links on Instagram, on TikTok, or maybe you go to www.juliusaroba.com and click on contact us and book one-on-one with us. Our team will schedule, but remember, we charge some certain amounts of money for that. Because for you to get 30 minutes, 30 minutes to 1 hour, you'll be able to change your financial blueprint. With this, it's one of those things. Remember, we talk about knowledge. You've got to get mentors. By the time you were done from varsities, you still remain where you are. You do not have mentors. You do not have coach. It is time for you to be able to go to www.juliusaroba.com and click on contact us or book for one-on-one, and you can. And there are some courses online as well at www.juliusaroba Academy. You can actually book on some of those courses to increase your lifestyle. Now, important truth is that consistency and patience produce long-term wealth. Remember those friends, they were mocking him. But important thing about wealth is that money is very important, but it is not everything. True financial freedom should also include your peace of mind. It should also include your health, having a good health, having a family stability, having integrity, and also be purposeful. Because a person can have money and still lack peace. On a final conclusion today, financial struggles is often caused by lack of knowledge, poor habits, fear, impatience, wrong mindsets, wrong group members, lack of discipline, and financial freedom can actually be achieved through the right education, the right planning, saving with the right formula, investing, and being patient and consistently. And again, financial freedom is available to those who learn about it, who work for it. And success is neither accidental to anything you do nor instant, but it is built with daily through disciplined choices. And no matter where you are today financially, friends, come closer. Your future can actually improve if you start making wise decisions today. So, what I want you to do for me before you leave today is to subscribe on this various channel you are listening to this or watching this. And please leave positive comments. Let us know what you've learned from this masterclass. And also share this video to your community, to the Facebook, to your LinkedIn, to your WhatsApp groups, so that your friends can actually be of great benefit. Remember, if you were to pay for this, leave your comment. Let me know how much will you pay for this masterclass. And I hope you've actually been able to learn something great today. I remain your host, your mentor, your financial entrepreneurship mind coach, and I remain Dr. Julius Aroba. And I say shalom. God bless you. Stay blessed until we come your way again.
Subscribe now and join the conversation shaping the future of leadership, innovation, and global impact.